Hi, my name is Al Green. Not that one, but the struggling guy who was in the music industry for years trying to sell talent and songs to agents. The agents befriended me and taught me techniques that I want to pass on to you through my program, which is called You Can Talk, You Can Sell. Anyone who has ever taken this program has excelled in selling and either risen to the top of their company, their team, or the top of their field. It's called You Can Talk, You Can Sell, and you can get it right here. Welcome to the six-figure selling system. And as you might know, all of us are just regular people. There's nobody here that's more special than anybody else. And the bottom line that we all want to achieve is maximizing our sales for our high-ticket items. We do not have magic formulas. We use commonplace techniques that have been proven time and time again. There's not going to be a lot of memorization, but the real question to you is, aren't you tired of the same old training and the same techniques and the same cliches? One of the things that I had to hear for years when I was working was, it is what it is. Now, I don't know about you, but that was like so off-putting for me. And when people would say that, I feel like, okay, I'm living in a mundane world, but no, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be in a high-quality world. So I stepped up to a whole different way of doing business, because I don't want to hear these cliches like, everybody's saying the same thing, what's in it for me, which is 100% true, but I don't need to be told this like I'm hearing it for the first time. When you do a training, you don't want to hear it like you're hearing it for the first time unless it is the first time. And when you do something for the very first time, it's got to feel new. It doesn't feel like you're doing something old that's now supposed to work differently. The old paths work when the customer is already deciding to buy. If your customer has not decided to buy yet, then you're not going to be able to convince them of anything. They have to want to buy. And then if you have a customer that already wants to buy, great, use the old selling techniques. But what about those people that really need to be sold? The people who you need to cultivate as customers that are continuing time and time again. And it doesn't matter whether it's houses or pharmaceuticals or insurance or anything. There is such a thing as repeat customers in many industries. Your customer might buy from you once, but will they buy from you again? Are you selling a commodity of some sort that they can buy over and again? Is this something that you can do to cultivate them as not only a referral customer, but somebody who can come back to you and say, you know what, that last time we did this time I want to do something different. I know people, for example, that sell yachts. Guess what? They have repeat customers. Now, why is that? It's not just corporations either. Sometimes people want to buy a yacht, try it out for a year, and then sell it. Just like turning over a house. When people flip a house, it's very similar to that. But then there are people who sell services, such as, and I'm not talking about your car warranty. I think we've all had about enough of that. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the return customers that you would not think will return to you to buy the product that you've already sold them. Because maybe it has something to do with the location they're in. If you're a security person, let's say a locksmith, and you put in new locks in an entire brand new building, is there a possibility that customer might return to you? There's a strong possibility, because number one, they might end up with a separate building. they might decide that the building they're in needs to be changed again for some other reason. Or there's another floor in the building that needs it. And if you're installing something like wall safes, that's another reason why sometimes people want to do things. For example, people might want to set up a dummy safe in one location and put a real safe in a completely different location. Now, when you do that, when you think that way, you might have repeat customers. And you can cultivate that because that's something that you can do. But you don't want to do it by using the old selling techniques that are mundane, because you could end up driving a customer to your competition. And none of us really want to do that. We want to get people that are going to want to stay with us because we deliver more. We deliver over and above the service. And it's not about buying them tickets to the latest sports game or taking them on an outing that they might really enjoy because you can write it off as business. That is going to be something where you could get questioned very, very heavily. In other words, if you can't justify it because it's a logical thing to do, and you're doing it because you think the courtesy is going to give you more favor, by all means give it a shot. But most of the people that I worked with that are the highest ticket selling people do not have to bribe their customers by buying them things. Usually it's a courtesy, and often the gifts that they buy are after the fact. I bought a house one time years ago. The realtor, after the escrow went through, the realtor bought for me the home warranty service for all of the appliances and everything else, all the workings of the house, after I had already bought. Now that's how you do it. Why was that? Because she wanted me to give her referrals, which in fact I did. But she didn't have to do that for me to give her referrals anyway. It was a courtesy. But it was also very professional, because when I mentioned this to this real estate agent, and I said, so if I find somebody else that buys a house, will you also buy them a whole home warranty? And with the price of houses that we're talking about, her answer was absolutely. So then I could say, you know what, to my friend Bill, if you go to this person and she helps you get a house, there's so many things she can do for you. And the interesting thing is she'll do it after the fact. Now that is one of the most awesome things ever, is after you get the sale and then you take care of the customer. Best way to get referral business. And if not referral business, sometimes it's just testimonial. In other words, when somebody says, do you have any references, and you want to mention a customer that you took care of and have them give you an endorsement, then yeah, you can do that because you took care of that customer. In my case, one of the things that I would do is I would tell people, you can call me in the evening up until midnight. And they would say, really, what time do you start? And I'd tell them, well, I actually hit the field at about 9 in the morning. And that was kind of like, here's a little thing I learned. Again, we're getting away from standard selling process. You work from 9 in the morning till like, what, midnight? And I always would say, well, most people don't call at 11 o'clock at night, but if they do, I pick up. So you work like 12-hour days? And I tell them, no, actually, here's what I tell them. I'm the laziest person you know, because I start at 9 and it takes me almost 12 hours to work an 8-hour day. Now, they didn't expect an explanation like that. But guess what? That impresses people. Now, again, that's not my technique. That's a technique I learned from another sales trainer years ago, a person who had not written a book, but was an outstanding salesperson and one of the top people in the company I worked for. So I want you to think in terms like that you're going to be learning techniques that are over and above and are not found in your most common books. I'm not knocking the other books. They're all terrific. But what I am saying is that what you want to do is you want to stand out and you want to be the person who is that extra special go-to person. Like, for example, when I want to go for another mortgage, I know exactly who to call, because the last mortgage broker I worked with did so many things differently, got me answers quicker, and also found ways to get me more qualified in my income so that I could, in fact, buy the next house. I haven't done it yet because the market here is going absolutely crazy, but it's something for you to think about. You too can be a top salesperson, and you can enhance your high-ticket sales rather than just be the guy that hits the basic numbers so that you qualify to keep your job. It's not about that. We don't want to qualify to keep doing what we're doing. We want to actually excel, and that's the key to everything is excellence. The word excellence has the word excel in it. What does that mean? It means over and above the norm. And that's one of the things you want to do, is be standing out over the norm and do whatever it is that you have to do to not only make the sale, but to make the customer. In other words, when you sell a customer as a customer, you're selling them for a lot longer than delivering the one item that they're buying from you. You have to think in terms of that. It's not just one at a time, because in many times, one at a time can be sold by 12 in a company that has 12 people that want to buy from you. So it's a little bit more than one at a time, isn't it? Okay, join me in the six-figure selling system, and you will get a lot more than just this. This will definitely help you, and I will see you then.